It's Sunday, May the 31st, 2026. You're listening to the DX Today AI Daily Brief. Today, Anthropic vaults past $965 billion in valuation. OpenAI publishes a new safety framework. And Google's around-the-clock AI agent goes live in the United States. Let's get into it.
We begin with the most valuable private AI company on Earth. Anthropic closed a $65 billion Series H round on Thursday at a post-money valuation of $965 billion, co-led by Altimeter Capital, Dragoneer, GreenOaks, and Sequoia. Run rate revenue has crossed $47 billion, up from $30 billion just months ago. The round includes $15 billion in previously committed hyperscaler investment, including $5 billion from Amazon and strategic capital from Micron, Samsung, and SK Hynix. Anthropic says the money will expand compute capacity, deepen safety and interpretability research, and scale partnerships. The company now leapfrogs OpenAI on the unicorn board, just days after OpenAI confidentially filed its own S-1 prospectus.
From funding to governance.
OpenAI is moving to publicly align its internal safety practices with two of the toughest regulatory regimes on the books. On Friday, the company published its Frontier Governance Framework, mapping its model evaluation, deployment, and incident protocols directly to California's Transparency in Frontier AI Act and the European Union AI Act's Code of Practice for General-Purpose AI. The framework covers cyber offense, chemical, biological, radiological, and nuclear risks and harmful manipulation. It arrives as American and European regulators have begun negotiating early access to frontier models before public release. OpenAI says the document is meant to give policymakers, customers, and the public a clearer view of how decisions get made inside the lab.
Now to a new agentic assistant.
1 week after Google announced it on the I/O keynote stage, Gemini Spark quietly went live on Friday for United States subscribers of Google AI Ultra. Spark is Google's 24/7 personal AI agent, running on dedicated cloud virtual machines, persisting tasks even when the user's computer is off. It ships with Model Context Protocol connections to Canva, OpenTable, and Instacart on day one, with Adobe, GitHub, Notion, Slack, Spotify, Samsung, and CapCut integrations slated for summer. Access requires the $100 per month Ultra plan, which also bundles 20 terabytes of cloud storage and YouTube Premium. Spark marks Google's first sustained push into agents that act, rather than chatbots that merely answer.
Next, a new coding billionaire.
Cognition, the maker of the autonomous software engineer named Devon, has closed more than $1 billion in fresh funding at a $25 billion pre-money valuation, $26 billion post. Lux Capital, General Catalyst, and 8VC led the round, joined by Ellard Gill, Soma Capital, Omri Caspi, and Founders Fund. The raise crystallizes a remarkable run for an AI coding sector that increasingly looks like the proving ground for agentic systems writ large. Cognition will use the capital to expand Devon's enterprise deployments and accelerate model and tooling work, as it competes with a crowded field that now includes offerings from Anthropic, OpenAI, GitHub, and Cursor.
Now an AI chip pivot.
Grok, once known for its ultra-fast inference silicon, is raising up to $650 million from existing backers, Disruptive and Infinitum, in what amounts to a corporate second act. The capital arrives roughly 6 months after NVIDIA paid $20 billion to license Grok's chip technology and recruit most of its senior leadership, including founder Jonathan Ross and President Sunny Madra. New chief executive Adam Winter is pivoting the company from chipmaker to NeoCloud, running inference workloads at scale through Grok Cloud, which already counts nearly 2 million developers. Rather than fight NVIDIA head-on for silicon dominance, Grok is staking its future on being the cheapest, fastest place to run somebody else's model.
From Silicon Valley to Beijing.
ByteDance is preparing one of the largest AI infrastructure bets ever attempted outside the United States. Bloomberg reported on Wednesday that the parent of TikTok is weighing capital expenditures of up to $70 billion this year on data centers, chips, and AI compute, more than double its estimated $25 billion in 2025. Much of that spend will be funded out of the $50 billion in profit the company earned last year. If favorable conditions hold, ByteDance has internally discussed pushing the figure to $100 billion in 2027. The move puts the Chinese giant on par with Amazon, Google, and Meta in raw AI build-out ambition, escalating the global compute race.
Now humanoids at work.
Figure AI logged a milestone in the humanoid robotics field this week. The company ran 3 of its Figure 03 robots, powered by its Helix 02 control system, for 200 continuous hours of warehouse work, processing 249,560 packages with 0 mechanical failures. The trial, conducted at a logistics partner site, is among the longest continuous humanoid runs ever publicly disclosed. Figure says Helix 02 improves both reliability and dexterity by leaning on a multimodal foundation model trained partly on its own fleet data. The result strengthens the case that general-purpose humanoid robots are inching from demo videos into actual production economics.
From robots to artificial general intelligence.
Google DeepMind chief executive Demis Hassabis is intensifying his warnings about how close artificial general intelligence may be. In remarks at Google's developer conference and a follow-up appearance this week, Hassabis said humanity is standing in what he called the foothills of the singularity, and that AGI could plausibly arrive by 2029, a year earlier than his previous estimate of around 2030. He described the coming decade as a species-level transition with, in his words, little margin for error. Hassabis criticized economists and policymakers for still failing to take the transition seriously enough, and framed today's AI agents as a practice run for far more powerful systems yet to come.
Now AI in the tax office.
A self-improving AI tax preparation system has hit a production milestone. Thrive Holdings, in partnership with Crete Professional Alliance and OpenAI, reported that a Codex-powered pipeline achieved up to 97% accuracy on real returns during this year's filing season. According to the consortium, the system cut preparation time by roughly 1/3, while increasing throughput by 50% across pilot accounting firms. The architecture uses Codex agents to scan documents, classify line items, draft returns, and flag exceptions for human reviewers, learning from corrections in a continuous loop. The companies say the rollout is one of the largest deployments yet of agentic AI inside the United States tax and accounting industry, an industry long resistant to automation.
From accountants to lawmakers.
California's AI legislative agenda just cleared a major hurdle. Nearly all of the state's 30 active AI-related bills passed their chamber of origin before the May 29th crossover deadline, setting up a packed 4-week stretch before the July 2nd summer adjournment. Among the most consequential, Assembly Bill 1609, regulating customer service chatbots, was approved by the full Assembly on Wednesday. Assembly Bill 1651 addresses AI use in the state bar exam, and Assembly Bill 1159 extends existing student privacy protections to AI-driven educational platforms. Taken together, the bills signal that even as Washington remains gridlocked, the most consequential AI rulemaking in America may continue to come out of Sacramento.
Now AI's human costs.
Meta has begun notifying roughly 8,000 employees of layoffs in what the company is framing as the price of pivoting harder into artificial intelligence. The cuts amount to about 10% of its workforce, with more than 3,000 jobs eliminated in the San Francisco Bay Area alone. Chief People Officer Janelle Gale told staff that upward of 7,000 workers would be redirected into newly created AI-focused teams, including Applied AI Engineering, Agent Transformation Accelerator, and Central Analytics. Microsoft, meanwhile, has offered voluntary buyouts to roughly 7% of its United States employees. Across the United States tech sector, More than 134,000 jobs have been eliminated in 2026, with nearly 50,000 directly tied to AI adoption.
Finally, AI for the corner office.
British luxury phone maker Vertu is betting that some chief executives will pay almost $7,000 for a foldable phone built around artificial intelligence. The company unveiled its new AI-first foldable this week, starting at $6,880. The device runs an onboard agent designed to summarize meetings, triage email, draft replies, schedule travel, and surface intelligence in real time during executive calls, with hardened privacy controls aimed at the C-suite. Vertu argues the phone collapses an entire executive assistant workflow into a single, secure device. Whether the market for status-priced AI hardware exists outside a niche of global executives, however, will be a question for the rest of 2026.
That's your briefing for Sunday, May the 31st, 2026. For DX Today, stay curious.